Podcast. I'm your host, Lady She. I'm with the ladies tonight. I'm excited. I'm not by myself. I usually have a guest, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm ready to have real conversations about this particular subject. All right, am I okay? It looks like we're faded.
I think it's your light over
You
there.
think so? All right, let me adjust a little bit. And I got on white too, so that's probably also. Can y'all see me? I know I'm yellow, so it might just be me. It might literally just be me. But anywho, tonight I'm excited. I'm with some amazing young women. Let me actually introduce them first. We have Miss Antonia Dos Santos.
Hello.
She is a physical therapist assistant.
Yes.
Physical therapist assistant. And we have Miss Porscha Washington. She is the
hello.
founder of Browngrl-ish, and I am just super excited that they are here. I know one thing we're gonna get tonight. We're gonna get 100%. Like they're gonna keep it all the way a buck. So don't look at me when you hear something come out their mouth. I'll be like, I'm with you on whatever subject come out. Okay, but tonight we'll be talking about the strong Black woman.
Yes.
I'm talking about the good, the bad, the indifferent, the myth. The not so good stuff, the what do you call? How can I say?
The stereotypes.
The stereotypes, all the above. You don't know which way we're gonna go. And just to let you guys know, I will be reading comments. So if you're on Instagram, actually share your Instagram page if you want.
My Instagram is at Toneface. That's TONEFACE on Instagram.
And we have
And my page is Browngrl-ish. So it's at Browngrl-ish, and that's BROWNGRL_ISH. That's Browngrl-ish.
yes, and I am at Hot Mic Lady She _podcast. But right now we are live on YouTube, Hot Mic Lady She podcast. Listen, I'm excited about this subject, but I got some stuff to get off my chest as well. Tone hit me with I got some things to say line. I said, oh snap, she choosing violence early, child.
Mm-hmm.
So what comes to mind when you hear strong Black woman?
Stress, baby.
Not stress, baby. Stress.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind to me is resilience,
Yeah.
perseverance,
Mm-hmm.
because to get into one of the topics that you posted on the flyer, I think it came from the fact that once our men started to either leave, or maybe they were incarcerated, or maybe the situation was they passed away, or maybe so we had to pick up the slack. We had to say, you know what? All right, we're not going to sit here and say, woe is me. We have these kids, these mouths to feed. We have to make the money. We got to provide, and we got to do everything and pick up the slack because the men are not there.
Right.
For any situation, whatever the situation was. So that I think that's where the terminology "strong Black woman" derived from.
Yes.
And that we just have to keep pushing. We have to keep persevering and everything like that. But there's been a lot of negative connotation associated with that term. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because of a lot of misinterpretation, misconceptions. Mm-hmm. And me personally, I feel like one of the misperceptions and the misunderstanding is, I'm a strong Black woman, I don't need a man.
Come on, talk that talk already.
Excuse me.
Talk that talk.
We need our men.
And we love you.
And we love
be
our
clear,
men.
Be very clear.
We really, listen, it's about balance. God created us, man and woman and child. We need the men in the household. It's just that once, for whatever reason, if they were not there, and not to say the other way around doesn't occur. Sometimes the wife is dead or whatever, and then the man steps up.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times it is the woman. And I think I feel strongly that that's where the term derived from, because of the fact that we have to just strap up our boots, wipe away the tears, put our hair in a bun, and just do the damn thing.
Absolutely. That was good. Go ahead, Porscha.
When we speak about the strong Black woman, right, and I feel like everybody has their own definition of what that is to them, right? But reality is the term strong Black woman, it derived from slave time.
Come on in here.
So we had the Jezebel, the sexualized person that may have been sleeping with the master, right? Mm-hmm. Then we had the mama that took care of the babies,
literally
in the house, right?
The babies.
And then we had the Black woman that was a slave that was rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
that's the anger. Oh, she's
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
You know, that's where all these things came from. So as years went on in life, we had to figure out how to carry on and be the strength. We always have to be strong. We can't cry.
Right.
We can't show emotion. We have to have it all together all the time.
Right.
And I feel like when I say stress, but I agree with you with the your how it makes you feel when you hear the term. But when I say stress, it's stressful because we beat ourselves down to be this strong Black woman that we idolize, and sometimes that's not what it's about.
Right.
It's okay to take a break. It's okay
right.
to say I'm not okay today.
Right.
And we are taught this from a young age. Girl.
You gotta be quiet.
Hold your head up.
Yep.
Do this. And it also stems down to us being Black women and having to be strong because our beauty was not what the beauty standard was.
Say that.
Right?
That's true.
But-
Say that.
But don't even get me started. But we not look
No,
at
you can
Instagram.
get started.
Look at Instagram today. Okay,
Listen.
we are the mold.
Yes. Come on in
Because
here.
we're getting lip injections.
Yep.
We're getting BBLs. Okay,
Yep.
don't
We getting
don't
sprayed.
get me
All kind
started.
of stuff.
We're getting
all kind of stuff.
tan.
So we getting started. Yes, that's a
For
fact.
sure.
That's a fact. That's a fact, and we like it because it's our time as far as I'm concerned. So when it comes to the strong Black woman, I agree with basically both of what you guys were saying.
Mhm.
I love that you tapped into, us basically having to be the strong Black woman because of the absence of our men. And like I said, we love our men, but we gotta just be real about the things that we have to end up going through, not on purpose. No one chooses to be by themselves.
We've made it a normalcy.
We made it. Unfortunately, it has become a normalcy. Yeah. But I will say, shout out to the men. I know a lot of amazing fathers who have custody of their kids, and they're just doing what needs to be done. So it can be done, okay? And there's a lot of it, but I also can appreciate that I'm seeing more, especially on social media. We have shout out to Instagram with the Black Fathers posts and all of that, these different pages that show us in a certain light, having all of that all together because we don't usually see it. We don't usually see it. Yeah, we don't usually see it. So I love what I'm seeing. Yeah, absolutely. So I love what I'm seeing. But in reference, to being a strong Black woman, I think about how even as kids, we ended up, we were basically being raised to be a strong Black woman as a child. Because a lot of times Dad wasn't there, so we kind of step it up to be the helper for Mom. We had to kind of lose our childhood a lot of times because we had to be like the big sister, even if we were the youngest one. But because we carried a certain energy or strength, they tapped into that particular child or that particular girl to do the cooking, to do the cleaning, go to the store, do whatever needed to be done. So, and a lot of it, like you mentioned, in reference to slavery, even when I think about certain things with my mom was very young when she passed away, but even in her 30s and 40s, she had arthritis in her hands from picking cotton. That wasn't so long ago. It wasn't so long ago. And those emotions and the things they went through don't just go away. It kind of is embedded in us subconsciously through her because this was her environment. So we end up basically being bred to be strong Black women, whether we choose to or not. And then it's the thing of when the world sees us, and even when it comes to birth, I'll just tap into this and then we can move on to a different subject. But I was talking to a coworker, and it made me very emotional. It was very personal to me, and actually my husband as well. Me and him had conversations about it. My mom passed away. We ended up losing our daughter, and I coded in the hospital. If he wasn't there, I would have died. And I had me happen to understand we perish the most when it comes to giving birth because they look at us like you don't need the painkillers because you're Black.
Yes.
They won't give us what they give everyone else.
Yeah, in some cases,
they're like, you're fine, you're okay, and is something happening to me, but because we're Black, I'm Black, it's like, no, you're okay. And things are happening to us. We're perishing.
It's crazy.
And there you go. A lot of our men are losing their wives because of something like that, and you don't hear about it until we bring light to it, especially on platforms like this, having a real conversation. So, thank you so much for that. Anything else you guys want to share before I start tapping into the subjects? I can see you guys' comments. If I can't see on their pages, but if you're on YouTube, I can see your comments, and I will absolutely share whatever you guys are saying. I meant what I said. So if you're saying something up here, I'm going to share it with the ladies, and then we'll tap into it if we can. All right? So anything?
Yeah, I wanted also to add to what you were saying about slavery. going on, slavery was abolished, and then now we have the segregation and the Jim Crow laws and stuff like that, and even just the underlying racism that happened in the North and everything like that. Black women still had to be strong. We had to endure all of that. So all of these things are taxing on our soul, on our mind, and it definitely created a mindset. So it's not just a terminology, it became a mindset. So that's just to add on to everything else. Everything that we've been talking about is literally a mindset that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So it's not just, I'm just going to be strong and stuff. No, it's actually a mindset. We wake up every single day, no matter what kind of abuse we've been getting at work, or what kind of abuse we've been getting at home, or what kind of abuse we're getting from family members, or whatever it is, we still have that mindset where it's like, I'm not going to get torn down. I'm not going to get torn down, and unfortunately it leads us to a lot of emotional stress, and a lot of turmoil, because we feel like, and not just Black women, all women, a lot of times we feel like we just can't talk to one another.
Right. Say that part.
And it's so important for us to speak up. Like we were talking earlier, we have so much in common already just from 5 minutes of conversation. And automatically I'm like, okay, I could talk to her about this, I could talk to her about that. And I can talk about real stuff because it's real. It's real.
It's happening.
So don't be ashamed to speak to another sister. Don't be ashamed to speak to another woman, because we all are literally in the same boat.
Absolutely.
That's a battle for it.
I'm telling you. We working on it. We are working on it. Browngrl is. Yes. Okay. Browngrl is how much she is. A bunch of others. We're all really working on it.
It's that trust factor.
And I love it. I was gonna say that.
And I feel like we've been put in a space where we feel like we gotta be in competition.
Oh, that's all women.
It's nothing, and it's like,
especially
it's okay to say, hey sis, you look pretty today. You did your thing. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like I'm gonna say today, we are embracing that again. I feel it. I see it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. But back to what you were saying, when you get a moment, look up something online. She's a Black psychologist. She did some research with Black women who were suffering from depression. And from her research, she did a scheme. It's called the Superwoman scheme. They call it the Superwoman syndrome that Black women suffer from.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Oh, yes. And when I tell you it's real,
the doctor,
when you listen to it, you identify with it.
I was just about to say, I identified already.
And Shanice knows I personally went through some stuff myself, and I had to take a step back for a while. And I feel
so proud of you.
I feel great now, but I had to say, you know what? No.
What needs to be done?
I had to say no. I don't feel good. I don't want to get up. I don't have to do it. I don't have to. No. Like I just started. It's called mood. Nah. Exactly. Not today. But that's how I feel, and it's just like that study was so real. It showed that so many Black women were suffering from depression because we thought we had to have it all together yesterday. And we feel like we're here. We feel like we're here, but in reality, we're here. We're here. Your progress is your progress, and we forget that. And that's something I had to remind myself. I may have people that are, people around me that are doing, I feel like they're doing more, better than me. But at the end of the day, that's their better.
Right. Come on in here with that.
My better is where I'm at.
Absolutely.
So sometimes it takes that, really sitting down and reflection on yourself and saying, hold on. Last year I was here, but look where I am today.
It's about progression, not perfection.
Exactly.
And I feel like as Black women, we're kind of put in a space where we feel like we have to be perfect. Because I have to show up, and I have to be strong, and I have to take care of this, and I have to be this, and you just feel like you have to be that. We have to supersede everything else, and you don't have to. It's okay to be you.
It's okay,
you know
it's okay.
You know why we feel like that? And I was telling you about my friend at work, my male friend. I have a close male friend at work. He's Italian, and I tell him all the time, Black people as a whole are in the bottom of the totem pole in society. Personally, hell no.
Exactly.
But in society, the way the world views us, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. Not for sports though. Everybody.
Yeah, we're at the bottom of the
I was
social
supposed to
pole,
have
And that's why
but
it
they
feels
emulate
like,
us in every
yes,
way.
yes. They don't want to verbalize. No,
Right,
you are
right.
beautiful. No,
It's
you
very
are this,
evident,
you are
but
that.
they ain't gonna verbalize.
But
it. Right.
but socially speaking and stuff, that we are at the bottom because they don't want to marry us like outside the race. Not saying we're looking for that. We're not.
All right.
I'm just saying as
said
far
we're
as no, we're not. I'm just saying, but this is the reason why we feel that we have to be perfect, that we have to do this, and we have to do 10 up on another person
Right.
and stuff because we've always been stepped on.
Mm-hmm.
They try to step on
But
us.
we're also taught that. Like
Yeah,
we're taught. I've said it myself. I'm guilty of saying that to my kids. You know, I have an autistic son. I'm guilty of. I'm not saying that's probably the wrong word. I've done that to my kids, letting my son know you're a black man, you're a brown boy. So they're gonna look at you a certain way. You have to make sure you supersede their thinking about you, even though you have this label on you. That's why a lot of people didn't know he's autistic.
Yeah.
Because I pushed him.
Yeah.
At the same token, it can be damaging to your children to do that.
I don't do that.
So you have to be mindful and know your kids. Let me say that. Also know your children. Know your children. Know what they can. Know what they can handle. Know what they cannot handle. Because all of our kids are different. And let's be clear. As mothers, if you have numerous children, I know you have one son. I have two. But you deal with Damon one way and you deal with Brian another way.
Totally different.
You understand what I'm saying?
Night
Because
and
you
day.
know them. You
Jekyll
deal with
and
your
Hyde.
son on a certain fashion, a certain level that you probably see your friends deal with their sons at the same age, totally different because you know you're a child.
Exactly.
But our natural thinking as a mother is to push our children because we already letting them know they're gonna be looking at you to fail when you start school.
Yep.
Because they're looking at it as from the school to jail pipeline.
Yeah.
So we already have it in our minds as parents, as mothers, as strong black women, to teach our children to be a certain way, almost a perfectionist, which can bring pressure on them. So, you know, we have to be mindful of some of the things we have going on within ourselves because of our experiences, that we don't pass these things on to our children, that we allow them to have their own experiences and not, you know, kind of give them this, it's almost like a imaginary,
this expectation.
Yeah, expectation.
And that's what.
And it's not okay.
Yeah,
it's not okay.
It really is.
But we get it. We get it. It's the mindset. And I just want to tap into, you mentioned trust with women. Something happened today, and I was, thank you, husband. Yeah, thank you, husband, because I was ready to light somebody up on social media. It almost went there on a strong black woman topic day. Okay, so what happened was, I'm looking because I'm in my own world, to be honest. But other people's worlds end up coming into mine. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? And let me say that. Yeah. So what happened was I got wind of information for something, and it honestly kind of hurt my feelings because I am such an encourager, and I have no problem telling you you're beautiful and you're gonna win. And yes, take that break. I'm playing with you.
This woman checked on me.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And we're just meeting.
Yeah.
So I have no. This is me in real life.
Yeah.
So I honestly get confused, even though I'm 40-some years old. It may kind of be naive or something, but I don't look for the bad in people. I just don't wake up that way. I'm not built that way. So when people do something against me, I honestly get thrown off, especially when I poured into you, or I've done something for you, or I've supported you. So today I have one of those moments where I know this person. They've known me my whole life. I've known them. They're a little older than me. And I realized they're working so hard to watch me, but act as though they don't see me. So they're doing certain things with other people that we've had conversations about purposefully. So they want me to respond, and my husband's like, for what?
Right.
Yeah.
That's just where y'all are, and now you know.
Don't give it.
And I was so happy that he said it to me, but in my head I'm like, yo, what if he wasn't around? I'd have just responded. Then I'd have looked like something that I'm not. Because I'm not combative. I don't have to be. I'm secure in who I am. And then maybe you realize, no, you're actually insecure.
Right.
You're competing with somebody who's not competing with you, beloved.
Exactly.
It's insane. We gotta do better.
Yeah, that's what they want, so they can say, "See."
It was weird. It was weird.
It happened.
And even with that, my focus went right back to, you gotta be a strong black woman because you're not allowed to have emotions about what this person did to you. It's the mindset.
Yeah.
Like we really tell ourselves, okay, this person did something to you, but keep it pushing. When you should be able to say, I feel some type of way about that.
Yeah.
And not be judged about it.
Because that person needs to be checked.
Yeah.
In a good way, and that's the only way we'll learn.
Mm-hmm.
We got to check ourselves and we got to check each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you said this person you've known forever, so you should
Forever.
be comfortable enough
And
to
so
say,
they
listen,
kid.
and you can check them respectfully.
that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying.
That's
Yeah.
what people seem to forget is that when you check somebody, it has to be confrontational.
No, that's not true.
Conversation.
That's what you've been taught.
That
But there
that part.
is
That part.
there is a civil way to deal with things.
Very
See, you know what I think? This there's like a line with civil for people, and let me charge this to immaturity,
Very true.
not being healed, and not being confident. Because what I'm realizing, this was social media is showing me that when you have a conversation, like if you and I have a conversation, you're like, yo, niece, that wasn't okay. I already know it wasn't okay. There's no reason for me to have a whole issue with you because you told me that. I have to deal with that truth. And I don't think people want to deal with truth. So they look at it like this person came for me. No, they just actually told you something that you actually know inside wasn't okay. So you have told yourself that's a hater or that's this. That's not true, beloved.
But they lie to themselves.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
That's
true.
what it is.
But
It's not true.
we live in a time where accountability is not.
Girl,
Yes.
that thing
It is what it is.
Woo!
And when
Tell
you
me
are,
what.
and and that's okay. You be how you are, and you be how I am.
Right.
But there's
I don't have to
consequences.
accept it.
Yeah, and
Respectful.
you have to accept that I can't be around you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's who you are, and this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you gotta
And that's
respect
what
people.
consequences,
That's
yeah.
who you are.
Absolutely.
Respect it. So I'm
Now let me
saying
ask you guys this: when it comes to being a strong Black woman, what comes to mind when you think about boundaries?
boundaries. I think I'm learning boundaries are very important. As a strong Black woman, I think we always feel like we have to be selfless and we have to always be there for somebody and pick them up when they're down. And sometimes other people's stuff will tear you down.
That's a fact.
Mhm.
And
Like
you'll
garbage
be stressed
dump.
out and depressed, and you be like, hold on,
You was just fine.
that ain't my problem.
Mhm,
Why am I
mhm,
carrying
mhm.
that?
Right.
And it's okay to be there for your people, be there for your friends, but it's completely okay to say, listen, this is too much for me.
Right.
I wish you well, but
Yeah.
Mhm. And it's true, and that's in any. I agree, and that's
I
in
just-
any. That's in any form of relationship,
Right.
every
whether it's your child, even
Mhm.
whether it's your parent, your spouse, your friend. The boundary of saying, you know what, I'm not gonna allow your issues to be my issue.
Right.
That's the boundary. You gotta draw the line because it's like
And
one
stick
day.
to it.
One day you gotta wake up and
Stick
say,
to
you know
it.
what,
Be
enough is
consistent.
enough. I
Definitely.
can't keep carrying all of this. I got my
It's
own
too
stuff, and I
much.
gotta carry yours. Now I gotta carry this. Now I gotta
sometimes
carry
you'll
that.
be carrying your family's problems,
Yeah.
your own personal problems, your own day-to-day stuff, and just in general, like, it'll make you crazy. It'll make you
Because you're the
sick.
strong Black
Black woman.
I was-
and
oh my
we're,
gosh,
we're
girl.
supposed to be okay to do
Yeah.
that. And it's not okay.
It's not okay.
And it just, I don't know.
Because people expect it from
Yeah,
us.
they do.
It's an expectation.
It is an
Oh, I
expectation.
thought you were just always gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I've
But
been told
because
that.
we teach people how to treat us. If we don't
Because we
set
allow
the
it.
boundary,
Yep.
they're gonna keep doing it. So
What she just said hit for me. She
What is
said, you're going to always be there.
yeah, they
No.
really think
No, I'm
that.
not. Look
You
at
said, but we got even with
Yeah.
that's part of the accountability
Yeah.
as well. We gotta
Yeah.
own it that you taught this person to feel that
And-
you will always
and
be
you have
there.
to accept
You
that.
because I was talking to one of my friends and she probably watching, it was connected to boundaries and family and stuff. When people see or feel by what they see that you're doing so-called well or you've sort of made it, they assume that you can do all for them.
Mhm.
That's not true.
No.
Everybody's literally
Look,
trying to make it out here.
I need a GoFundMe page.
I'm telling you, everybody is out here
I need
trying
that
to
too.
make it, but some of us make it look good.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you reach out to a person who got kids, who got bills, and who got a job, and who got this, and who working out, who's trying to take care of themselves, maybe think that thing through first on how they would feel when you're reaching out to them when they have stuff going on as well.
Right. A lot of it.
And I don't think people do that, but we, like I said, the accountability, we have to own that we've taught some of them that.
Yeah.
But now you got to teach them something new.
Mhm.
I'm no longer that person. Okay? I'm no longer there for everything that you go through because maybe sometimes I need you. Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes I would like to get a phone call. Vicky, my godmother Vicky. She gets thrown off sometimes when I call just to say hi because she's so used to people wanting her for something.
Right.
And that made me
Yes.
feel bad. Because I'm like, no, I just actually love you.
Mhm.
I don't need nothing from you. I'm just saying hi and checking in on you. But when you're that person who's constantly there for everyone, as soon as something goes on, they call your phone because, she'll
You're
come,
jumping.
she'll come.
Yep. Mhm.
You have to start creating new boundaries for them and helping them to understand, hey, listen, love you so much. Nothing's changed in the love area, but now things are different. You know, I got this going on. Now I'm retired.
Yeah.
But now all my kids is in college or they got their own family. So I'm chilling. I'm doing things when I desire to do.
Right.
things.
Right.
I'm not hopping up like this for you anymore.
No.
Either handle it or you will find someone else. But I'm not doing it today.
And that'll teach people grow.
And
Like,
absolutely.
Listen, I gotta step up and make things happen on my own. I can't keep asking other people for help. If you're an adult, right? Make a way.
Make a way.
Make a way for
You're gonna
yourself.
have to figure it out.
Figure it out.
And that's what a lot of connected to the strong black woman. A lot of times we have to figure things out, and we don't get flowers for it. We just get the it's done. We don't get the I'm so like I just said to her 2 seconds ago. I'm proud of you that you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not going to tell you that they're proud of you for taking time away to find yourself again.
Right.
To and get that catalyst of self-love back.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of you mentally, spiritually, physically.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are not going to give you the flowers. They're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, sometimes I want somebody to tell me I'm doing good.
And that's fine. We need that positive feedback.
Mm-hmm.
We need that encouragement and that pat on the back.
Pat on the back. Absolutely.
Because there's some people out there that would say, well, that's just life. Deal with it. Yeah, I know it's just life.
Right.
But it's still important to feel the good in life,
Absolutely.
too. Especially when
we
you just went
we
through so
deserve
much.
that. We deserve.
We really
We
do.
have to
that.
feed each other that way. It's not just, it's just life. It's just life. It's just life. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I say it too, because sometimes I get in the pessimistic mood.
Yeah.
But then I come out of it and say, you know what? No, it's brighter days.
Absolutely.
And it's okay for you to take a break and try to, be a little bit more positive. And it's okay for you to congratulate people.
Absolutely.
It's matter of fact, just not okay. It's important.
It is so important. And like people need to like I was talk to some women who, with discernment and energy does not lie. So you would know that they had issues with mom or with certain women because of how they deal with you when you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But the wisdom in you will say, let me just see what's going on with her. Instead of saying, look, she got the person who cares enough will try to see what's going on with that person. And a lot of times the women that I've encountered that had issues with other women had issues with their mothers. Some of them, the moms were young when they had them. So they kind of resented them that they weren't able to do certain things growing up because they had to take care of the child. They kind of resented them that they didn't get to finish school like everyone else. They didn't go to prom, they didn't go to because they had a kid at a young age. So now this child who did nothing wrong, the child did nothing wrong, you got pregnant and you chose to keep your child. So the child is innocent. But now this child is being raised with this energy like she did something wrong. Like, she has to work hard for you to love her. Like she has to work hard for you to say, whatever. And so many of them would say to me, oh, no, my mom never told me that she loved me. And that thing was bizarre to me. And in my heart, I'm like, my mother wasn't perfect. Nobody has a perfect parent.
Nobody.
I don't know how I would feel if I was never told I love you by my mother.
Right.
Even though she wasn't perfect. Even though things went on.
It's almost like an automatic.
You want to hear it.
Hear from you, that you would think that you tell a child.
Yeah.
I love you.
But some of them, they didn't get that.
But
so they're needy in their relationships.
They don't have that maternal
right
part of them to be like that.
And
the softness. Because maternity, like, I'm glad you mentioned that word because it took me to have a child to become softer as a woman.
Yeah.
I was a tomboy,
I'm still a tomboy.
Yeah. I mean, I am too.
Kicks.
I am too at heart.
Expensive kicks, but
for me to embrace the womanhood, for me to embrace me as a woman, it took me to have a child. I was 26 years old. And the softness is very important for us women too.
Yes.
Because being a strong black woman also have a negative connotation, association with hardness.
Hard. Aggression.
You know what I'm saying? Aggression.
We're going to tap into that for sure.
Saying? So it's important for us to remember, like, you know what? No, that's a misconception. We can be strong and still be soft.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's true.
I'm going to just read a comment really quick. Thanks for joining, Sharice. This is Sharice Michelle. She said, people are used to your persona, so they cling to you when it overwhelms you. Be upright towards them without feeling you're abandoning them. Pray for them and keep it pushing. Yes, thank you so much for that comment because it's so true. It's so true. But even tapping into that, I felt bad, but I understood. The behavior actually matched the childhood upbringing.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say really quick, to our mothers, There's no manual to this thing, So please, ma'am, give yourself grace, even when it comes to your children. Because let's be clear, some of our children manipulate. They manipulate. Okay, they see mama's working a lot, or mom got this going on, and it's all to help with them raising them. But they kind of make you try to feel bad so they can get certain things they want. There's no manual to being a parent. There's no manual to being a mother. But give yourself grace. Give yourself the opportunity to pull back a little bit to see and evaluate. For me, in my household, we have family meetings every month.
I love that.
We have actual conversations.
That's how I was raised.
Because for one, with me, I actually wasn't raised that way. But I started feeling like it was important because I felt like I was losing my kids somewhat because I worked so much.
Right.
And you will start to feel guilty. You're not doing it on purpose. We were just talking about my job is crazy, yeah. If I come in, I'm probably getting stuck. So it's not on purpose. At the same token, that doesn't change the situation. You still have to be mom.
Right.
So in these meetings, we have conversations so I can understand where they are with things, talk to them about school, or if he's working or whatever, see where dad is with things, how you feeling about this happened. I wasn't there. It's my first time not getting to a class, something.
Right.
You feel, no, I was okay. Dad was there, or whatever it can be. But growing up, some of us didn't have that. We got what we got. If mom was working or she wasn't working, the cable might have been off. We ain't had no phone, stuff like that, and we had to just deal with it.
Nothing is discussed.
Yeah. So nothing was discussed. So I decided for my home, for me to be a different parent. And I'll say this, a more effective parent and connected to my children. I want to have real conversations with them. Me and my kids talk about the things that do happen on the news. My kids talk about the police killing black people and want to understand where that came from. We watch movies, we watch documentaries. If there's some things that I don't really know about and I've seen a documentary, I'm like, yo, let's watch this because, I didn't even know this happened back in such and such time. And they didn't teach us this in school. So let's watch together and we'll have dialogue about it. Or just even seeing or hearing my kids say something like, well, yeah, mom, well, this person, because he doesn't have a dad. So we can have a conversation about it.
Yes.
I didn't know. I felt uncomfortable with that. He said he doesn't know where his father is or his father's incarcerated. So it felt good to have conversations with him seeing my father's in the house like this. And I'm letting you know, like, you're blessed. We work hard for you to have this good life. So don't be ashamed of it. Never dim your light for anyone.
Yes, for sure.
So we as strong black women and as mothers, a lot of times, we have to pour things into our children that was not poured into us. So mothers, give yourself grace if you feel, like you're not doing everything correctly. You're not perfect. None of us are perfect. So, even if it's a thing where you need to get therapy, get the help you need so you can be better. Don't sit in the hurt. Don't sit in the guilt because, for one, it's going to come out in conversation. It's going to come out in your body language.
Right.
Our kids know us. They can tell when we're hurting.
Yeah, when you're off.
They can tell.
I know
Give them
and my son,
credit.
It's always with me and my son. For a very long time. So he knows when I was going through what I was going through. He knew like something is not right. So we're that. I guess they have that bond, that emotional connection with you, and they know.
Yeah.
So my son, he knows.
I mean,
very well.
You say he's 13, right?
13.
He's known you for 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every phase of his life, and you've gone through phases too.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, they do know.
I had my son at 20. I had my son on a Tuesday. I graduated college on Friday. And I...
No excuse zone. Hello. Shout out to the village, too.
Yes.
Word.
That's
Enough credit.
to the hip, my son. So we've been like just... It's crazy.
You're growing up together.
I know when he's off, it's like I feel. And he was like, he was like, you're some type of a psychic. He was like, why do mom know everything? I'm like, you're mine. And I know when something is not right.
You're my gift to this world.
Yeah.
I owe it to you to be connected to you and feel when you're going through something.
Right.
We owe it to each other to feel because sometimes mom needs the child to say something like, Mom, you're doing a good job. Right. I love to hear my kids tell me that. Like, Mom, that was dope. I'm like, it was, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we gotta witness together.
And they also realize things that you don't even know.
Yep.
My son, my oldest two, they're 15 and 12. They know things. I don't even have to tell them. They just observe. They see what's going on, and then at the right time for them, when they feel comfortable, they come to tell me personally, privately. Mom, such and such. I'm like, damn.
So like, really now?
Dad, come on, Mom. I know you.
Right.
Or they'll say like, "Oh, you know what? We're just alike in such and such," and I'm like, "How did you pick that up?" You know what I mean? Like, so like the kids are definitely watching, definitely listening, they're definitely very observant. So that's even more important for you, for us as women, to not be so hard on ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know, like you said, we do have to give each other, or we do have to give ourselves grace.
Yes.
You know, because the kids are watching, and they can tell when something's off, or when you're having a tough time, and try not to take it out on them and things like that. Because that's also part of a problem of being so strong. We tend to take it out on the ones that's closest to us.
Absolutely.
Including the men.
That was a bar.
You know what I mean? So like we have to be very mindful of how we handle stress.
Absolutely.
And deal with situations, because we don't want to hurt the ones that love us.
Absolutely. I went to it was a training with the NYPD in the city, right? So in this training, I promise you, it literally changed my life. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta come out of self and expose yourself to different things.
Yes, you do.
And so in this training, I almost wanted to fight.
Like you always want to fight.
I almost want to fight. But when I say that, I'm joking. I'm saying like, because I'm never the same since this encounter, but I needed it. They gave me something I didn't know I needed, because I'm a strong Black woman. In one of the exercises, we meditated. Did you guys meditate?
Yeah, sometimes.
I do meditate. Yeah. So we had to meditate, and he's saying, the words during the meditation, and things started happening to me, and I was uncomfortable, and I didn't like it, because first of all, everybody in this is law enforcement. So the first thing you think of in law enforcement, you gotta be strong, so you gotta be alert and all these different things. So I was uncomfortable, and it was annoying me. I'm like, I don't want to feel like this right now.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, and I want to run out, but I'm like, clearly you need this though, so cut the crap. And I almost had like a panic attack. And so I walked out, and one of them followed me, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm gonna slap you." And he's like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "I'm sorry to say it, but I gotta keep it 100 because I'm a real person." I'm like, "I want to fight you right now." I'm like, I feel like I definitely needed this to help me to remember and realize I'm a human person.
Yes.
You lost your mother, you lost a baby. You're 2 seconds married, you're still trying to figure out life. You're trying to still be a mom. You're still showing up to a crazy job. All these things started playing in my mind to remind me, it is okay to not be okay sometimes. And you have to give yourself that credit and say, I got to bring stuff down sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to hurt the people around you. You don't want to hurt the people that you love. You don't want to take it out on the wrong situation because you have misdirect emotions.
Yep.
So being a strong Black woman, there's so many layers to it, but it's not all negative.
Right.
Being strong is also mean that you're in tune with your strength. You're in tune with who you are. You're in tune with your confidence. You're in tune with your beauty. So it's not. I really wanted to tap on this because I don't want people to think it has to be a negative connotation. It doesn't.
No.
I think it's something that has to be personal on how you see yourself as a strong Black woman. So I embrace being a strong Black woman because I feel that I don't wake up trying to hurt people, and I feel that even in my 40s, I've learned so much about myself that when I feel like I'm about to go there, I know how to pull back now.
Right.
And everyone, give them her space.
That's growth.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so if we get into that space, it won't be a thing where when we have an issue with a white girl and we gotta tone ours down because we're looked at as being aggressive and they're looked at as being emotional. You will actually be able to control yourself. Where you don't have to raise your voice. You can get your point across like we're talking right now.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with being loud. Strength has nothing to do with being loud.
Right.
Let's just say that part. It has nothing to do with being loud. A strong person can control themselves.
That's strength.
That's strength.
That's true strength.
That's strength.
That control.
Because I've had to tell people who's literally screaming and crying, I'm like this. Being loud right now does not make you right.
Right.
And they got... They can't say nothing because you going crazy. I'm calm.
Yeah, that's the strength right there.
I'm the strong one.
Right.
I'm the strong one because I'm calm. I'm in control. So don't allow the phrase strong Black woman make you feel like you got to be this, you got to be that.
Right.
You in the boardroom, you got to be the one that's like this. You already got that position, boo. You the CEO. You ain't got to prove nothing else to nobody.
Yep.
You got it already. So you don't have to be the extra strength. The confidence is you being a strong Black woman.
Yeah. You got to fine-tune yourself.
Yeah.
Fine-tune.
Absolutely.
Fine.
All right, so let's tap into some of these. Y'all had anything else to say on this? Okay, let's tap into some of these things that we talked about earlier. So, Mystique Haynes said, "This is so true." Yes, it is true, Mystique. Thanks for joining.
Mystique.
All right, so today, ironically, some things went on social media that I woke up to that I was like, "Oh, we definitely talking about this today." So, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I am disappointed in Drake.
Yeah.
I don't like. I try my best when it comes to social media. People probably think I'm up there a lot. I'm honestly not. I post a lot.
Yeah.
I try. I got 3 pages I'm running, y'all. I need an assistant. That's a fact. So I'm trying to post my personal page, the podcast page, my t-shirts page. So it's a lot.
Right.
So I'm honestly not up there like people probably think. But I got one to this one, just checking messages and scrolling, where it said Drake made a on his new song. He has a new album out. On the new song, he makes reference to Megan Thee Stallion being shot by Tory Lanez. And honestly, I was confused because I'm like, okay, we all know the rappers and the artists and stuff. They always do something the day that they put an album out. We get that part, the wow factor. But I felt this was so unnecessary.
It was.
It was so unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
It was distasteful, and I'm gonna keep it a book. I don't really listen to nobody's music like that. I'm still old school. We got the best
90s,
90s baby. We got the best music, honey.
music.
So I'm still handsome, and I still listen to music from the 70s and 80s, and my mom listens to. So it's no shade to y'all, but I don't listen to it as much. So I honestly don't know too much about Megan Thee Stallion. I just admire her from afar. I think she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I think she's very confident. I love that she's not just a rapper, she's also educated herself.
Yeah.
I know when her mother passed away, she had to be going through so much, but she stayed strong. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She continued to perform, she continued to do what she needed to do. So I was confused, Mr. Drake. What do you got thoughts? Like, what the heck is that about?
My thought, first thing that came to my mind is, as soon as a Black woman, right, of some form of stature, comes out and says, I was hurt. This was done to me. We're attacked.
Yeah.
She's lying. It wasn't that bad. You'll get through it.
Yeah.
When a white woman does it,
the whole world's in an uproar, child.
the whole world's in an uproar.
In an uproar.
And it just bothers me so much because I feel like, with social media and the world changing these days, right? We as Black women get put into a cluster, right? And we are judged upon the acts of one.
Say that part.
And it disgusts me that it's always, unfortunately, one of our Black
Say
men
that part.
disrespecting us and down talking us, but then, or saying basically, they don't want to date us because we're this and we're that. No, your mama was this and that. I'm not. Okay.
Come on, Porscha, make a plain child.
I just feel like it was one of those scenarios where it's like, and I guarantee you he's going to turn around and say, oh, that's not what it was.
He's not. I got a feeling he's not.
Really?
I got a feeling he's going to let it sit and fester because this is also from on his album.
It is.
And my thing is, use wisdom. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
What kind of attention
And
you
before
already
you
that
did
dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're not on the come up. You ain't from Hempstead trying to be a rapper.
Exactly.
No shade, y'all. No shade. No shade, people.
We're not laughing at y'all.
But I'm just being real. You're not on the come. You're not on the come up. You're already that dude that everybody rapping about. You're already everybody's coming up.
Yeah, what he did was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, and then
And
you
listen.
realize once she came out with it from the go, people were like, she's lying. Bro,
But at the end of the day,
That's
let's be
what the
real.
problem was.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm not even tapping into whether it's true or not.
Exactly.
I'm tapping into you
Right,
are a
speak
Black
on it.
man,
Mhm.
and you said this on a song that everybody will listen to, just to bring this energy back up to this girl.
Yeah.
Excuse me, this woman.
Mhm.
Regardless of whether it's true or not, because I'm not saying I can't tap into that because there's
We
so
wasn't
many different
there.
stories. Some
Yeah.
people saying it ain't true. Some people saying that. Whatever the case may be, regardless, why are you, sir,
Right.
doing that to this woman?
That's unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Why?
Unnecessary.
And like you said, when things happen with us, we get attacked by the ones who look like our sons and our dads.
All the time.
What is that about? And let me say this, because shout out to the women who are on boots to the ground with domestic violence. Oh my goodness. I experienced something. What was it last week? Shout out to Angelina Rosado. Shout out to Shamara Kells and to the Sisters in Purple, all those who are doing the work for domestic violence. Let me say this to you all, okay? Women are dying because of this kind of energy.
Yeah.
Okay?
True.
Women are dying. Mm-hmm. Right now, somebody is dying because an officer felt like she's a strong black woman. It ain't that bad. And then I'm going to check on this person who's a neighbor is calling somebody saying, maybe check on an apartment such and such. Maybe a wellness check or something because I hear something. And they're like, oh, that's a black neighborhood. Oh, no, they good.
Yeah.
And they're dying.
But different reasons.
Look at the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Girl, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
Calling consistently, and this man was killing black people every freaking day. Because our cries go unheard.
They go unheard.
Until it's bad.
Well, just like we have a mindset that we developed from slavery times up until today, other people of other races have a mindset that they've developed as well. So the effects of slavery went both ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, like with me, as far as Megan Thee Stallion, me personally, I don't like what she represents, honestly. I don't like all that, I just don't like it. I'm more
like they're
I'm more of like an India Irie type of person. That's just me. That's my preference.
Yes,
I don't like when women are on, and I know they're entertainers, and I used to, growing up, with Lil Kim and stuff. That was our era. But I was,
and I wasn't even having sex, but I was loving every word.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm saying
know what you're talking about. As far as like the body and exposure and stuff like that. Me, I'm just more of like, no, we don't need to do that.
Right. Less is more.
Less is more. But it doesn't take away from the fact that she's a human being. Absolutely. I still do not agree with what Drake did. And it was totally unnecessary.
It was just bizarre.
Like the thing is that I notice with people in general, people love to see other people do bad. Yeah, it's a thing. We naturally just this is why media is set up the way it is. More negative stories than it is positive because people don't care about the positive stuff that's going on. They want to see more bad. And as bad as they feel for the moment, oh, that's so messed up. Life goes on, and then Oh, she got shot. Oh, well, then I'm doing better. Oh, she lost $1 million. Oh, I'm doing better. People who strive off of other people's failures.
It's a thing.
It's a mindset. And I mean, it's not even just the mindset. It's just the way human beings are. Yeah, it's the makeup. We have like jealousy in us. We have envy in us, and it's a natural. These are natural things we have inside of us. And it's just up to us to have that strength and control, right? To keep it down. Like, all right, immediately you see some of you like kind of jealous, but then it's up to you to go like, all right, you know what? Let me mind my business. They doing good over there. That's good. You know what I'm saying? Instead of festering on it.
Like instead of the reason why they got that is because you want to make them speculate.
You don't know what that person's story is.
This just happened recently. Who was it?
You don't know what that person's story is.
This just happened this week. Was someone like saying something? And I'm not going to. We can have a segment to speak about this. I would love to have a few women to speak about this. I don't want to tap into it now because it can go on the way. But it was a colorism situation, and it annoyed me because I've been this color my whole life, and I've been through some stuff. I'm sure y'all been through some stuff as well. You actually shared it, when you came on a podcast. But the person was basically trying to downplay the talent of these particular artists, and it didn't even make any sense. I'm like, you've actually seen them grow in their gift, and this is how they got to where they got to. But you told yourself that it has to be because of how they look. But at the end of the day, it's all speculation. No one knows all that people have gone through to get what they have. Right. You get a glimpse of their lives. Yeah. You get a actual glimpse of their lives.
You only see what people show.
Yeah, that part.
That's it.
Because people are very strategic with their show, chat. Because I got some people who broke as a joke, but they're looking at it rich.
What I show.
Huh? I mean,
I don't care. I'm saying because you know what? That's my business. That's my business. That's my strength. A strong black woman.
My strength.
To only allow certain things to be.
I invite you to get a glimpse, okay? So take what you take, and whatever you got to say about it, that's on you, Jam. Right. I'm not fighting with you. I ain't going back and forth with you. I ain't going back.
But you know what? That's the I guess the beauty of social media, right? You can be whoever you want to be.
In jail too.
Oh no! See, I was silent on her own podcast today. She's on one tonight.
She said,
I'm telling you,
We're not
I'm
going to
watching, child. I be watching. I be like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got $1 million. Got it. But you're still here. Got it.
Yep.
Okay, beloved.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I ain't gonna tell you.
There's a lot of them so
Listen, child. Listen, you
Do
can be whoever you want to be.
As far as getting back to the topic of the strong black woman, right? I just had this conversation with one of my good friends last night, and do you feel like us feeling like we have to live up to that title, right? As young black women getting older, don't you feel like it hinders you sometimes in a way? Do you?
I would have to say, probably from the outside, it would look like it would hinder us because you don't know how people are looking at you.
Yeah.
For me, I'm good. I'm freeing myself.
Yeah.
So you can't hinder me per se, but like if it's something that I want from you, you have control over whether I can have it.
When
So
I
you
say-
have control to
Yeah, what do
say,
you mean?
when I say hinder, so for example, we were discussing as far as like, sometimes we have goals, right?
Mhm.
And we feel like as a black woman, we need to reach these goals, like I said, immediately.
Mhm.
So you feel like now I'm challenging myself to do something. I'm making myself crazy. So
Yeah.
it's hindering me from
I was going to
focusing.
say that.
I went
That
somewhere
way.
else. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
was
That
sorry.
like I feel like for me personally, the title of strong black woman kind of hindered me in a way of that trying to
And I was going to
goals,
say that. I
trying
was
to do
gonna,
too many
yeah,
things at once.
It's
It
that-
hindered me
it's that
relationship
level.
wise.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Accepting that it's okay for me to sit back and let
Mhm.
somebody else do it. I
Right,
feel like
right.
I got to do it all the time.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's hindered me in that way. Do you, ladies? Ever
Yes,
feel
I
like
agree,
that in certain
100%. Because it's the expectations that we put on ourselves. And if
Correct.
we don't reach those goals,
Yeah.
or we're thinking already like, damn, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because we set our expectations for ourselves personally so high because we're supposed to do it. We're taught that we're supposed to
Right.
do that. And yes, also in relationships. And I'm glad you mentioned that because, again, we need our men.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, especially if we were single parents, we're so used to this
Yeah.
autopilot now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm getting
Yeah.
all the grocery bags,
Yeah.
and I'm bringing
Yeah.
it inside. I'm getting this. I'm doing
Yeah.
this. I'm doing laundry. This.
That's me.
Yeah, wait, hold up.
And
I got a
I've
grown-ass man right here.
struggled with letting someone else lead, and it's because I never had an opportunity to allow somebody
Yeah,
to lead.
yeah.
Because I'm not gonna let a fool lead me nowhere.
Right.
Oh, that's smart.
So
You
yeah,
shouldn't let a fool lead you
Exactly.
anywhere.
exactly.
But when you have
I had to find a camera for that one. I was like, boop.
When you have a good man,
Mhm,
let
mhm.
him lead.
Yes.
That's what he was designed to do.
That's what
Exactly.
he
You
was designed to
understand?
do.
Mhm.
Let him lead.
All right, so now that I know what you're talking about, yeah, I'll say this. I'm not. It may sound dramatic, y'all. I promise you, it may sound dramatic, but in my 40s, I'm loving and learning me more. So what you just shared
Mhm.
was more of me some years ago.
Yeah.
Same here.
Now, because I have such a desire, I don't know. I just feel like I have such a desire to learn, to do things that don't cause me stress. It don't cause me to be frustrated. It don't cause me to, respond in the wrong way. It don't cause me, to have to explain myself all the time. I feel that I used to put dates and times on when I should have this accomplished. And once again, being a mom, a boy mom, I had to learn that even with watching my son because he was taught that from high school you go right into college. So he was thrown off being out of high school and not being in school because I taught him that.
Yeah.
I was pregnant going to school because I left college, came back home, and then I'm like, well, girl, you still got to get back to school. You got to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
So that was the pressure of the strong black woman and getting this done by a certain age and different things like that. But as I've grown and learned that life doesn't have to be that way, we control this thing. You understand
It's
what
our
I'm saying?
story.
We control
And
us.
Our
We
story.
command our peace.
Mhm.
We command love. We command these different things. Now, honestly, right now, I know I want to be back to school again. I'm not pressured. I'm like, niece, you're going to finish.
Yeah.
And
Take
that's
your
how I
time.
wake up. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing this week. Oh, I didn't get one of the things done. Okay,
It's okay.
it's all right, child.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Get it
stress
done next
over
week.
it.
You didn't see this coming. You didn't realize you was going to have a car accident. You didn't realize this was
Right.
going to happen with your son or whatever the case may be. And once again, going back to giving yourself grace.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can't, we have to, let me say this, we have to learn because keep it a buck. If you've been doing something for years, it's not just gonna always just go away just like that. You're gonna have to unlearn certain things.
Yes.
And even when it comes to dating and having a man in your life, if you're used to doing everything, you're gonna have to communicate a lot because he's gonna have to say, "Babe, I got you," and you're gonna have to be like, "Oh, okay." And not, you're gonna have to.
My current.
You're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to be able to say, "Oh, okay," and not make an explanation for yourself as to why you're doing it.
Right.
Because honestly, beloved, he don't care about what happened in the last relationship.
No, not at all.
He does not care. He like, I'm here now, and I got you.
Right.
Let me have you.
And listen to him.
Let me do it for you.
Trust him. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to lose him because you're the strong black woman. I can do it all by myself. You don't have to now. So let's unlearn that.
Yeah.
But that also takes self-evaluation.
Yeah.
If you wake up every day saying, I don't need a man and he ain't gotta do such and such, you're probably gonna lose him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Right,
probably,
get turned off.
you're probably gonna lose that good man. And
Yeah.
then you're gonna be saying, ain't no good man out here, and the devil is a liar.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You haven't healed.
That's
Or
true.
you haven't unlearned these certain behaviors.
Yeah,
We honestly
exactly.
have to unlearn certain things, and we have to own our
And
behaviors.
we have to take accountability once
Yeah,
again
That's
because,
owning it.
like me, personally, I have to be accountable for what I've accepted in past relationships.
Right.
Me too.
Right.
So
All
it's
of
not
us.
fair for me to have that expectation of every other man in the world
Mhm.
because that's what I settled
Mm-hmm.
in that point
Say
in my
that.
life.
Mm-hmm.
But now
Right.
I am Porscha is of higher value now.
Hello
And
now.
I walk in that, I live in that. I am of higher value. You can't
Yes.
sit with me. You can't talk to me.
That's the one.
No.
Right.
Like I really live in
Commanded,
that.
honey.
No. So sometimes we have to learn, like, no, you were in that situation because that's what you chose to
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Deal with
Yeah.
it.
Right. You
Yeah.
accepted it.
Yeah.
We accepted that.
Absolutely.
So you deserve good. You deserve to have these things done for you. You deserve to experience these things.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to really learn. And I just turned 34 and I'm like, I'm glad I'm learning this now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want to
telling
be I don't want to be that single woman miserable, like,
Yeah.
Still clubbing
Yeah.
and looking
Look,
Yeah,
and,
look
and
at-
talking junk.
yeah.
Like, oh,
And dressing
Girl,
like
and
it's
hating.
25.
and hating.
Still shopping at Forever
You gotta stop
21.
hating, man.
Somebody's trying to bring
You 40 years old and still hitting your girls with the, oh, yeah, I used to talk to him years ago. Or such and such.
Yeah.
Girl, good night.
That mentality.
Y'all gotta chill out. I'm so glad I don't do all that, man. Like, shout out to my real friends. They live everywhere else, so I'm glad I ain't gotta be indulged in a bunch of crap that be going on.
Yeah.
But we gotta do better. Like we, like real talk, we have to do better. But going back into dating, so I'll ask you that: being a strong black woman, do you think we're hindered in that department because we're trying to be the strong black woman?
Yes, I have something to say about that.
Go ahead.
We have to stop being afraid to open up, trust,
Right.
and letting the man lead. Just from personal experiences, sometimes you feel like you know your worth, but sometimes you feel like maybe I don't deserve that though, or maybe that's
Deserve what?
a good man, like just in general, like a man who can take care of things, a man who
But then
will.
that means you don't know your worth.
No, well, all right.
sometimes when
No,
No.
sometimes when you're used to something, right?
Yeah, you're used to
And
just
something else starts happening, because that's where I'm at right now. Like,
right. What I'm saying is being a strong woman and always being able to carry everything
Okay.
and having a full plate. You know your value. Like, I can do all these things. I know I'm strong. I know I'm this and I know I'm that. And then when someone good comes into your life, you kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I got it. No, you need help.
Yeah, you need help.
You understand what I'm
So
saying?
go back to what you said, mindset.
Yeah.
Unlearning
You have
these
to unlearn
things.
all those
You have
things.
to
You gotta
unlearn
stop
these
being
things.
afraid to accept the good that's coming into your life.
And shout out to the men who love us through it all.
Oh gosh.
Because there's some good ones who had to really, literally peel back layers
Mm-hmm.
and say, no, I see you, sis.
The patience.
Like, and I got you. So
They
they
have
had to have
patience.
patience
Yeah.
and help you to unlearn or help you to see you. Because there are black women who can't look in the mirror without crying
Mhm.
because they see all they're going through.
Yeah.
They don't see the beauty beyond. They don't even see that they've accomplished certain things. They just
Yeah.
see, I'm exhausted.
Mhm.
They just see, I'm tired and no one hears me. They just see, I gotta go pick this one up. This one got soccer. This one got
Yeah.
basketball. Oh my God, I just needed this. All I needed him to do was pick them up from this.
Right. Or sometimes
That's all they see in the mirror is the crazy.
Or sometimes they're numb.
And that.
Yeah.
Because I was
They
that.
get numb and just
I was
on
that.
autopilot and forget to express and unload.
And that's dangerous.
That's
Let me
very
just say
dangerous.
that. That is dangerous. I grew up that way, being numb, on autopilot about everything.
Yep.
Like almost like a robot. Like somebody's telling you, oh, this just happened. You're like, okay, and you just handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're dying inside,
Yeah.
but you're numb.
Yeah, you're numb.
And it's dangerous because when it finally hit the fan, then you become like the Hulk.
Yeah, everything.
And it's a
then
problem.
everything comes
And
out.
now everybody's gonna act you like you're the crazy one. When
Yes.
no, y'all haven't even been hearing me or seeing me. You're just piling things on me like I'm a robot, and I'm not. I'm a physical being with emotions, with feelings.
Mhm.
My body breaks down too. And let me say this, please, sir, please, ma'am, whoever you are, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to, working and your eating habits and things like that, stress kills you.
It will.
Stress will take you out of here.
Yes.
We are losing more people in my age bracket and our age brackets through heart attacks and stuff like that. And it's from stress.
And from a healthcare standpoint,
Mhm.
perspective, stress is definitely the number one
Number one.
link to a multitude of
Yes.
diseases on all different
Yeah.
organs, including your mind.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
stress is definitely a killer
Mm-hmm. It is a killer.
and a catalyst for a lot of different
Mhm.
things.
Absolutely, absolutely. So please, it will behoove you to self-evaluate, make assessments. Because y'all about to laugh at me. I do friend assessments.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. No, you have
Because
to.
you're not gonna stress me out.
No.
Okay.
Or
If
use
all
me.
you do is pile everything on me, and all you do is ask me for advice that you're not taking,
Right.
because you like the attention of being in a broken situation,
Mhm.
or you like the attention of being in a toxic situation, or you like the attention of being sick and not well,
Mhm.
you might not make it next year in the friendship.
I need my
I'm
friendship.
Oh,
serious.
it's true.
I need
You
my
gotta filter
friendship
it out.
serious.
to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give it back.
Right.
Yes.
But if
It
it's
has to
always
be like
this,
this.
uh-uh.
Yeah, it has to be
No.
a give and take.
If you
You
keep
pour into me, I pour into
withdrawing
you. and
from the
we'll
bank,
balance each other.
you're gonna be minus style child,
Yeah.
and they're gonna move on to the next bidder.
That's what they do.
So you gotta assess, the people around you, the people you spend the most time with, your activities, like all these things are connected to you being a strong Black woman. Because strong Black women know who they are. They know who they are.
Yeah.
When they see themselves, they know I'm doing my best. I'm doing what works for me, and I'm confident, understanding everyone around me may not understand it, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm free. And it doesn't mean, let's be clear, doesn't mean you hurting someone.
Right.
It just means you being clear on your boundaries. You being
Right.
clear on who you are, what you will tolerate, the environments that you desire to go to and you don't. Because I started laughing. I read something that said, stop begging to be invited. What did it say? It said like 3 different things, and I kept laughing. I was so tickled by this thing because, and it may sound judgmental, but I don't understand people being on social media, seeing people at events and saying, "Oh, no invite."
Oh no.
It is
yeah.
the most
I get
annoying
text
thing
messages,
to watch.
I'm like, really?
If I ain't invited, I ain't invited. I ain't asking no questions. I promise.
So you know
Because
what?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not asking no questions.
I had a thought in my mind as far as strong Black woman, that term, how in the beginning we said there's negative connotation to it, and then there's but we're trying to bring more into the positive.
Yeah.
A strong Black woman, like you said earlier, is not loud.
Say that part.
We're not loud.
You don't have to
We're the
be.
quiet ones.
You don't have to.
And we just get shit done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
We're the
then-
quiet ones that get shit done.
Mhm.
That just have to be reminded that it's okay to take a break.
That's why,
Those are the real strong ones.
and it goes back to, when we talk about social media and when we share stuff like that, I always laugh because people lie to themselves so much. I think they forget that you know them in real life.
Oh my goodness.
So when they're posting,
I
you
love reminding people.
you like, really? Stop the madness.
The whole time,
So
those
you
are the
gotta
same
watch.
people I'm like,
You gotta
Yeah.
That's when the
You gotta
evaluations
watch.
start coming. Like, you
Listen, I'm telling you, and we gonna stick to the women. I don't want to tap to the men. I love the men. We'll get to that. We'll get there.
we get
But
there
in
another
reference
day.
to the women, some of us know, we spoke about it earlier, some of us don't have the maternal energy. We just don't have it.
Yeah.
So when you're seeing some of the mothers that have not actually raised their children, the village has raised their child, but they're the ones posting the accomplishments.
Mhm.
I'm like, you have no parts in that.
Yeah.
But you like, my daughter did this,
Yeah.
and my son, and I'm
you
just
know
like,
what?
we know your real life, beloved. Cut cut this out.
And that's a problem in general in society. Like, stop lying to
Yeah,
yourself.
stop lying.
Instead of using that
Yes,
as a
lying,
prop,
child.
Just don't say
instead of
nothing.
using that as a prop, look at it and say, you know what, I need to spend more time with my kids.
Yeah,
I need to
but
be there.
honestly, some of them don't want it. Some of them don't. That's why I shout out the dads. I'm seeing more dads in custody of their children like never before.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I'm talking about amazing men.
Yeah.
Like, but I'll be so happy a lot of times. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad.
Thank God.
And it's nothing against the woman, but to be real, some of you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Or some of you honestly, and let's say this. Let me say this because, thank you, Holy Ghost. A friend of mine just came to mind. Some of us women had children young, or thought we were in love at a young age.
Yeah.
So because we had children young, we kind of lost those years.
Yeah.
So now we get to a certain age and we're like, I don't want to be a mom. I want to do me. I want to do what everybody else was doing at the time that I was trying to raise a kid. Or I was stuck in this relationship that was toxic. But I felt it'll look better if we're together, knowing he's with a whole other person, but he just showing up to your house every day.
Yeah.
And that's not learned when women be doing that whole thing. But at least he come home at night.
Yeah.
That's not a flex, beloved.
It's
No.
not.
It's not a flex.
It's not.
It's not a flex.
Isn't it funny
all.
how I was looking at, so there was a post I saw, and it was like R&B from the 90s, right? So it was funny because it said this is the era when men really started cheating, because when you think about it, those R&B songs from women were like, well, he's mine and all of that.
I may have once, but I got him all the time.
Man,
Girl.
no.
On mission.
If you listen to SWV, some of their songs, they were talking about being the side chick.
Girl,
Not kidding, he got a man.
Escape too.
And it's crazy how now, truth be told, we back there.
We are back.
Because
This is different.
Because
This is
women
different.
think that's strength. Doing what a man is doing.
Yeah.
No, that's not cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On either end.
I just saw a song.
But cheating is ancient. It is just
No, it doesn't.
It really happened.
And that's why I want to tap
When
into.
daddy went to go get milk and then came back 3 days later.
I'm gonna try
That
to
didn't
close
happen.
out in like 20 minutes, y'all, because you know we already went over one time.
Oh,
I knew it was gonna happen too, because I knew we was gonna get.
yeah.
But that's what I wanted to ask you guys in reference to, Big Mama and how our mothers and our parents were raised back then. I almost feel like it was a normalcy to find out that Big Mama already knew that Grandpa had a whole other family on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
And she stayed quiet about it. Like she knew. Do you think that is something that is constantly repeated? Like it's almost generational? Because I know they be knowing. Women, they be knowing.
I think
There's
that
so many secrets we don't know.
yeah, and I think honestly,
And you calling it the strong one?
part of it, I'm gonna get technical and I'm gonna be scientific here a little bit.
That's like
Part of it is just the instinct of the male species and the instinct of the woman, the female species. Men tend to roam, and a lot of times the women, and not just in Black culture, in other cultures. I speak to a slew amount of different women from all over the world. It's already taught and accepted. Okay, he may start doing other things outside of the home. We're just gonna have to accept it because he's the provider, because he's this, because he's that. So it stemmed from that, where we didn't have the means to go away from the situation and fend for ourselves and provide for ourselves. Now that we are working more, more women have careers and stuff like that. That's why the divorce rate is so high.
Yeah.
Because we can leave the situation.
So high too.
Yeah, because we can leave the situation now. But as far as with the men having and the children are outside of wedlock and the women just being quiet about it, it's definitely just a cultural thing that we just taught. Women, let the man do what they do, because that's what they are, and we could just be quiet and just deal with the children at home that we have.
Yeah, I ain't doing it. No.
And
yeah, that's the book is stuff.
But that's all across the globe. That's all across the globe, though.
In my mind, okay, how can I explain? Because I don't want to put this for everyone. We're gonna have to do another one.
And we're taught monogamy here. You understand? We're taught monogamy.
Yeah.
We're taught be the ride or die.
Yeah, that's what.
Be loyal no matter what.
I ain't gonna hold you, and I almost
Not
feel like,
doing it.
oh, you finished?
Well, like I was saying, monogamy is taught. This is the culture we're in this society.
Mhm.
In other societies of the world, it's like that, but it's not so much
Yeah,
at the same time.
it really is.
The woman is definitely at the bottom. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So like here, women are a little bit more uplifted here, even though we're still second class to men.
Second class, yeah.
But the thing is that we're taught this is just the way men are, and we just have to accept it. I'm not saying I condone it. I'm not saying that.
Because
I'm not saying that because I believe that if you make a promise
We
to
just gonna have a
someone.
conversation on camera.
No. I'm not
we're
saying
gonna do another segment.
that's
But-
not.
Yes,
I'm not saying I condone it. I'm just saying like
No, I get what you're saying.
No, it's the reality of things. It's the reality.
It's reality.
yes,
It's
but
reality.
personally, no, that's not. I'm
That
not
it's
having
in,
that.
it, like the persona, the the stereotype that if a woman does it, she's a whore.
Mhm.
When a man does
Mhm.
it, it's accepted.
Yeah,
That's just what it is.
it's a mess. But I was gonna say, even like, because we're all, she has daughters, she has a daughter too, but we're all boy moms. What has been disheartening for me, I'll never forget, and I don't want to say who it is, respectfully. But I heard a mother literally just say out of her mouth, like it was cool. Oh, and I don't want to be cursing, but excuse me. Yeah, they mad because my son got B's and they ride for him. That's on them. And I was like this.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's a part of the game, you know. This is the things you have to deal with. I was like this, and this is a mom, like an old school mom.
And that's
Yeah.
why.
And I was so annoyed,
Yeah.
disappointed. I was frustrated because I'm like, this is why your son is not okay, beloved.
Yeah,
He's not okay.
and she's clearly not okay.
She definitely not okay. But I'm like, he's not okay. There's so many issues there. Just me listening to her say these words with conviction. I'm like, he's put his hands on a woman. He has different baby mamas, like in and out of jail, and you're talking this is cool.
That's not
You're talking like this young lady or these women have a prize.
no.
And that's why
Man,
the journey has been.
You
a
have
journey.
raised a miss, and you're like, my son. And I'm just like, that's not a strong black woman.
No.
It's not.
That's not a strong
That's
black
an
woman.
enabler.
But
Yeah.
be clear, you know, these people procreating.
Right.
So what are they teaching their children?
Nothing.
You will be raising another generation of men who are going to be doing their thing, or young women who finally get to a point where they're so frustrated of running into your son, and now they doing music like F and F. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They like, these dudes ain't right, so I'm going to get their money. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
And that's the world
Yeah.
we live in.
It's an issue. That's not a
It's a
strong
problem.
black woman.
That's not cute
It's a problem.
at all.
And
It's a problem.
It also is,
When
I
when
think,
did we start like
child, I don't
dating
know.
multiple
Maybe
men?
the switch.
I've never been this hungry in my life.
Listen.
To go on a date with a man
Listen.
I'm not interested in.
I just shared
I've
with
never
her.
been that
No,
hungry.
I'm sorry. Was it you? I was on the phone with
Why
my friend. What's her name? Jada Chavez? How you say her name?
Yeah, I know.
Whatever the girl name. She got a baby with Little Dirk.
Baby.
Baby, Little Baby.
Little
I
baby.
I'm sorry. I don't know these people. Don't
I
like
don't
me.
know.
I don't know these people. Little Baby. Is it? Who is he?
Little baby, he's a rapper.
I think she got a baby with Little Dirk.
No, Little Dirk is Indian.
Oh, snap. Okay, you know.
Yeah.
So, Little Baby. So, she in this setting talking to people, and I don't know what she like. They said something about sex, and she goes, oh, I'm not dealing with nobody who not good and bad. That's why I slept with him on the first day. And the girl was like, wait, I'm sorry. You said you slept with him on the first day? Like, it threw the girl off. She was like, wait, you said you slept with him on the first day? She was like, yeah.
And that's, you know
I
what?
said, when is this a thing?
That's something
How
that's
many people
missing.
you having sex with?
Yeah.
And y'all ain't, clearly y'all not protecting yourself because y'all popping out kids.
Yeah. And
So
that's-
what is happening?
That goes back to what she said earlier.
Listen.
As far as men acting like women and thinking it's okay. That's not
No,
okay.
it's not okay.
And then another thing is we're missing a lot of class.
Yes.
Oh,
A lot of class.
But
Say
who
it
gonna
again.
teach them?
Nobody.
If the
because
mamas is saying stuff like what that lady
That's
said.
the problem. And
You
this
60
society-
some years old, your son 30 some years old, and you think that's cute?
And this is what's portrayed, and this is why
and
we
when
have
you
such a
and
negative connotation.
when you conduct yourself
Abort
with
mission.
class and poise, they think, oh, she thinks she's better. Oh, she's
Or
better.
bougie.
I am better.
Call
No, it's
bougie.
not, and
That
I
was
am. It's
I am
okay.
better.
Oh,
I'm better than that.
That's
I have the
okay.
right to be selective. I do. So whatever you want to say, carry on. No, it's no.
Yeah.
It's no.
I try to teach young women or women my age. I remember I had a conversation with this young lady years ago. I was still in my 30s, and she said, she was dealing with a man, and she said, why would I be faithful to him or something like that when we're just messing around or whatever like that. And I said, well, you don't want to be promiscuous and just sleep around with a whole bunch of different people. She was like, why not?
Oh.
And I said to her,
That's
because
the thing.
you want to be faithful to yourself.
Yeah, come
You
on
want to
here.
be a little bit more respectful to yourself. That's
Yeah.
why. I mean, I'm not trying to judge people. Everybody gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
You know, but as far as me, if you come into me, I'm gonna give you my advice.
Right.
And this is what I'm telling you as a lady. You don't want to conduct yourself that way.
Right. Well, you usually get what you put out. You know what I'm saying? And I had spoken about this in reference to, and I'll go back to the strong black woman thing. You know, some of us are sought out because of the energy that we release.
Mm-hmm.
So there are men out there, and I've shared this before. There are men out there that literally only go for women with low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Only go for women that they know they can run over. And I'm not condoning it, but there's a certain energy that you give off that says, if I try this with her and she give me a pass, I can do anything with her.
Yeah.
I can do whatever with this person. Mm-hmm. Or if I show interest in liking her son or her child, because baby daddy ain't in the picture,
right,
I'm in there.
Yeah.
I can do whatever to her, nothing's gonna happen.
Especially
and to be the prettiest ones, to be the ones with the most education.
Yeah.
Was it one of the pastors said, y'all got PhDs and let the joke with a GED get over on you. And I say, yo, that's a fact.
It's true.
Yes.
Because you having book smart don't got nothing to do with you having self-esteem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he will sort you out, beloved.
Yep.
And run you raggedy. You gonna have a bad weave. You gonna be looking crazy. You gonna be out here looking crazy.
It's the truth.
And they gonna be able to tell you encounter somebody who running you through it.
Yeah.
Very true.
And
But you can get back to self, and become a strong black.
back to those
How about that?
boundaries.
Telling you.
The boundaries better be set.
I'm telling you. Listen, we can go on and on this subject. We might have another segment because there was a few things we wanted to tap into and we didn't get a chance to, but this was good, y'all. It is now 8:19.
Oh wow.
I told you. I knew that was gonna happen though. I knew that was gonna happen. But anything you guys want to say before we close out? I enjoyed myself. Thank you to everybody who tuned in too.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who
thank
tuned
you.
in on my live.
Yes.
On her live and on
Yes.
on everybody's live. Everybody that's on here.
We're in the building.
And I want to thank you for allowing, myself and her also
Absolutely.
to join your platform today. I mean, this is my second time with her.
Yeah.
And it's always a great time, a great experience. And what you're doing is amazing for us.
Thank
Us
you.
black and brown
That's how it
women,
starts.
we're out here, having great discussions about real things that are going on in the world.
Absolutely.
And we need that. And you're providing that platform for it. So I love it. And
Thank you.
I thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Only thing I'll leave off by saying is basically like I said today on my Instagram, every day I kind of try to post something.
Mm-hmm.
And what came to me today was to remind people that your story is your story.
Yes.
And write it well.
Yeah.
And that stands in being that strong black woman. It's not all about being tough and doing everything. It's about knowing who you are and just learning your inner beauty in any and every way. Knowing that your progress is your progress and you're doing great and tomorrow's a new day. Yesterday doesn't matter. So that's what I want to leave on.
Love that. Make tell them where they can find you too. Because she's listen, we met because she's doing this amazing. She has this organization that she started for Browngrl ish. I love the name, y'all. Love the name. And so this is how can I say? This is mutual ground.
Definitely.
All right. This is all positivity. Tone, she puts her stuff out there as well on her page, keeping it positive, work it out and stuff like that. I'll let you share that yourself. But this is what we're supposed to be doing. Exactly. This should be a normalcy for us. So thank you so much for coming
the first thing me and her actually discussed when we met was how hard it is to have these dialogues. And actually everyone is genuinely happy to be here and having genuine conversations. I find that sometimes it's hard for us to get together and do that.
Yeah,
it's like she'll be doing hers and I'm over here doing mine. Oh, she posted this today, I'm gonna go do this. And it's not like that. It was just naturally like
absolutely
real good flowing.
It's divine connections.
So
absolutely.
I'm definitely appreciative of it.
I also want to say thanks for allowing me to come back. This is also my second time on the podcast. This was definitely a really good topic, and I'm glad that we were able to discuss it as women. And it's okay to have different opinions and everything like that, as long as we respect each other.
Right.
One thing I do want to leave is being a strong black woman, like I've mentioned earlier, it doesn't mean that it's negative. You don't have to be loud. Being strong means self-control.
Yes.
We have to have self-control, and we have to do it with class, okay? Because it's not just about us. It's what we're trying to portray to everyone too. Not saying that we're looking for acceptance, but it's very important for Black women to be portrayed in a more positive light.
Yes.
Right? And the other thing that I want to mention also is the health. We're living in a day where plastic surgery is being very is being the norm. Also, I'm just gonna call it what it is. If you're obese and I'm big, but you gotta accept me. I'm just this way, this and that, or whatever. You shouldn't. I'm not fat shaming anyone, but diabetes is huge in our community. Heart disease is huge in our community. And yes, if you're slim, you can still have those things. I definitely mentioned before that I was pre-diabetic and I reversed that. So I'm encouraging all Black women to watch what you eat and be active.
Yes.
Be active. So it's about our mind, our body, and our spirit. Just feed it properly. We have to feed each part of us with good, not with the bad. That's all I have to say.
Super dope, super dope. Thank you, ladies, for joining me tonight. I know this is gonna be good, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us, whether lives, YouTube channel. I really enjoyed this topic. This is absolutely to the heart. We have, iron sharpens iron. So having conversations like this, I'm hoping that someone found themselves in this conversation and is like, let me do a little better, or let me have a meeting every month with my family in my household, or let me have these conversations, with my children, or let me self-evaluate. Let me take a look in the mirror to see if only tears come, and if the tears come, that's okay. Start working on what needs to be changed. What do I need to do for the inner me? I think that as strong Black women, we're amazing. We are the reason this world continues to turn. That's how I feel. I feel like we are unstoppable. I feel like we're resilient. I'm just so thankful that I'm a Black woman. Like, I mean that with every part of me. I'm excited to continue to have these conversations. I'm excited to pour into other women to help them if they need help. We have Browngrl-ish. We have Tone. She does the working out stuff. Speaking out on speaking out on our health. Because diabetes is taking us out of here.
Yeah.
Diabetes is absolutely taking us out of here. Heart disease. I've lost friends to that, close friends, and we were in our 30s. So this thing is very real, and they weren't obese.
Right.
Okay. So your intake is very, very important. But I just want to say, closing out, just be unapologetically you. I love there's a saying a gospel rapper said in one of his songs. He says, referring to God, he goes, it's big him, little me, and I love that. So centering yourself, understanding we are made in God's image. So if you accept that you are made in God's image, you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to make decisions that are for you, that are for the betterment of you and those around you. Because like we're saying, high vibrations, as Coach Stoney said, you want to have high vibrations and understand that what you have going on the inside will project. And so we want to be around good energy, but just be unapologetically you. And if that means, you learning and self-evaluating self and getting to the root of why you're the way you are, like what you shared earlier, being a strong Black woman is not me being the loudest. A lot of times the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Let's be very
99% of the time.
The one that's on mute probably owns the room, okay, or owns the building. They don't have to be loud to, make it known that they are in the building. But, just self-evaluate, tap into you and just be better, but be unapologetically you. If you are in a place where you are learning yourself, give yourself grace. If you're in a place where you're getting back to being mom, or, being in a working environment or whatever, and you feel nervous about it, just give yourself grace to learn and be open to be better. But thank you so much. Make sure you follow and give them your IGs again.
You can follow me at Browngrl-ish, and that's BROWN_ISH. Browngrl-ish.
You can follow me on Instagram at Toneface, TONEFACE, and on Facebook under Antonia Dos Santos.
Dos Santos, honey. Yeah. But listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to Hot Michael Lady She Podcast on YouTube. Listen, 2023 is looking good for Hot Michael Lady She, y'all. I gotta step it up. I'm excited. I just see more doors opening. Even as a strong black woman, you gotta see it before you see it. Let me say that to you too. You gotta see it before you see it. Okay? That don't mean rush. That means just have your eyes on the target, knowing that every day you're doing something. You have a goal you're completing towards that goal. Because we got one plan. That's plan A, and we sticking to it. We ain't doing no plan B. We ain't doing none of this crazy stuff. Stick to what you know is your lane. How about that too? Yeah.
Plan A has to work.
Plan A has to work. That's a fact. Plan A is either plan A or it's plan A. Okay, we either win or we win it. But yes, listen. Make sure you guys follow me also on Instagram. She's got teas as well. Oh, shout out to my girl Ashantia for my shirt, Clash by Ashantia, black owned, and she is a black woman. Okay, so we out here doing it. Please, let me say this. I'm trying to get off, y'all. I'm just trying to get off. I mean, we got 1 minute, literally. What is going on right now on social media? Kanye West, Kyrie, all these different people speaking on certain things. The only thing that I keep thinking about is y'all can keep yapping about it, but if we actually support each other, we won't even care about these conversations.
I don't care.
We won't even care. I'm rocking somebody's brand right now that is a strong black woman. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
These earrings, I'm so sorry, I can't think of the name of the company, but it's from a black owned. So we have the power. We just have to tap into it. Like, period. Like, and that's how I'm gonna leave you guys. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We will probably have another session on the same exact topic because child, we ain't scratched the surface of all stuff. But be unapologetically.
That's why we have to have the link up before the link up.
We really do. That's a fact. That's a fact. But listen, make sure you support Browngrl is Porscha Washington. Make sure you support Toneface. Toneface got the fitness going on, y'all. Watch out for her. And I'm just Lady She, just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But listen, everybody have a good night.
Good night.
Later.